Hello and welcome to my reality Jeep life with me, the Vermont Jeep Girl, and this is my daily vlog of 2013. It is a beautiful day out here today, so me and Ole Blue decided to come out and explore a little bit and hit the trail. It's been a while. It's been a really long winter. We've had a lot of things that we've been doing, and it's just really gorgeous. The sun is out, and I just can't say, I just love Jeep therapy. The only thing is this is one of my normal spots that I usually come up to. And it's really weird because usually when I'm up here, I usually hear the birds or I hear some animals. I don't hear anything. Everything is just unusually quiet out here. It's really kind of bizarre because I thought I'd hear some birds or something being it was spring. Every now and then I keep thinking that I hear something in the woods. But I don't hear any animal sounds. It's just really weird. I don't know. Anyway, I think what me and Blue are going to do is we're going to go up a little further past this loggerheader, see what the winter has done to the trails. It's actually surprisingly dry out here. It's so weird that it's so quiet, yet I hear something and I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's kind of creepy. Don't really know what it is. It's alright. Might be my imagination. Me and Ole Blue, we're gonna go up and around. Might help if I put it in 4-wheel drive. Well, me and Ole Blue were out on a trail. We're out here picking up garbage that people have left along the way. And I saw this caught my eye in the woods. And I'm kind of laughing at it. If you look at the top of it, this is an old beer can. I can't pronounce it. Narragansett Lager Beer. Oops. See if I can get this to show. Narragansett Lager Beer. It's got a ship on it. I have never heard of it in my lifetime. Old pull tab. One spot here, yeah, right here. Oops. Right there. Looks like somebody used it to shoot it. I just think it's funny. I think it's cool. Very retro. So, also somebody left an old freezer part, which I'm going to take that out of the woods too. This is what I do in my spare time, is I drive around on the trails, and if I find stuff that I see in the woods, I pick it up, and I take it to the dump. It's not that hard to do. This almost looks like, something that came out of a refrigerator, like the freezer part that would have made the ice cubes. But gotta keep everything clean. It's not that hard. Now, here are some very old bottles. No deposit, no return. It's packed full of leaves. Maybe it has a mouse nest in there. A nice solid brown bottle. Texture on it. I don't know what that is. But it looks like over here, it looks like another one. So it's two. I've collected a lot of bottles from the woods, and believe it or not, I have sold them on eBay. People actually collect these bottles. And if nobody buys them, then we recycle them. But at least they're out of the woods. This is cool. And I just got a glare of something here, and I'm going to show you. This is how easy it is. Ah, it's broken. Ah, dang it. This is a very old bottle in its day. As you can see, it actually had the Pepsi Cola is what it says. Hang on, I'll turn it around so you can see. It actually says Pepsi Cola. It's got the little twisty parts on it. The only thing is the bottom broke out of it. Interesting. Scour the ground, because there's probably a lot more where this one came from. Add it to my collection. And that's what I do. I'll drive the trails, and if I find garbage like this, I pile it up, and I load it into my Jeep and take it out of here. there's some pretty cool things that you can find laying around in the woods that other people have discarded. Okay, here's Ole Blue and I are still up in the woods, and what we've come across, like I said, I love walking around these old sites. I stuck them over here on a stump. Let's show you what I found. Now, this is a very old rusted can of brake fluid. So whether or not it was a logger at one time that may have needed it, or who knows, maybe even a homeowner. 2 old bottles, probably beer. I don't know if you can see that in the back. That's actually a cable, an old winch cable that was left here in the woods. Pretty beefy. And if you can see it or not, this guy right here is an old winch cable again. Then maybe a skidder way back when was up here and left it. Kind of runs in the ground right here and down the hill. Right here again, you'll see it. It's in the woods. There's also another piece. I don't know if you can see it right there. This whole section really seems to be hot for whether or not somebody used to dump their garbage way back when out here. I don't know. I set everything on the stump where I found it. This is cool. Okay. This is somebody's old, I don't think they had soda back then in cans. So I'm not sure what it was, but it was 2 tiny holes that they poked through the top. And this was someone's lunchbox. And let's see if I can show you. Here's the handle. I found this a couple years ago, but left it here. I'm probably sure that some logger probably left it up against a tree for me to find. This is the lunchbox. This is the lid. And what's really cool is this. This was the thermos. I didn't find the top to the thermos, but I did find all of this. And this is really cool. It was leaning right up against this stump that had been cut many moons ago. And I set it on top of the stump. There's a little bit of history in the woods. All you have to do is look and you will find it. Now, since the spot was a hot spot for trash being left behind, I think the lunchbox and stuff must have been left behind by the logger who way back when just totally forgot it for whatever reason. But I started walking around and I found another really cool spot, and I'll show you what I found over here. Somebody must have come up here and dumped all their trash. I believe that's an old Vaseline can. It's pretty big. And this whole hump right here is filled with old bottles and cans. And I've gotten a lot of bottles and a lot of cans out of this pile right here. And I'll show you. See if I can get down here. The sardine can. This one here is Prince Albert in a can. As you can see it. Prince Albert. I just left them sitting here. And somebody's old shoes. A lot of old cans. Somebody must have dumped the recyclables way back when, back here. And let's just show you here. Let's see if I can find one. Here's one. I mean, just pull it out of the ground and you'll just find it. To me, this is history in the woods. Who knows if it was someone that just wanted to get out of the house and hopped in whatever jalopy they had at the time and came here and drank a few, chewed a few. But I like this spot. This spot is really cool. There's a little bit of history here, and I always wondered what exactly happened here. Okay, here's an interesting bottle. It's kind of greenish color. And unfortunately the bottom has gone out of it. But I'm going to try to read some of the stuff that's on it. So I have to move the camera here. It says, federal law prohibits sale or reuse of this bottle. So I would say this was probably some sort of liquor bottle that somebody threw behind. Also, this is really cool. This is actually the top to an old, kerosene lamp. They would have had a wick go up through the middle, and it would have been inside a glass jar. Or, the thing that would hold the kerosene, which is really cool. But somebody definitely came out here and threw all their Prince Albert cans and all their beer bottles and maybe even all their liquor bottles out here. Who knows? This has been in the woods for a long time. Here's another interesting bottle. Let's see what this one is.
You're a glass 70, 4/5 of a quart.
Now here's a big brown bottle. You can tell by the top it's old. Unfortunately, it has a big hole in the side from being thrown out. And this one's 4/5 of a quart. Again, it's probably, see how the bottom is molded in. These are very old bottles. These have been out in the woods for a long time. Now here's a nice green bottle. Again, you can tell by the top of it how old it is. The only problem is the whole rest of it's missing. And I can't find any writing on this bottle, but it's a pretty green glass. And probably has a story to tell. Just like every single one of these bottles probably had a story to tell. Okay, I got one for you. When's the last time you saw a Miller High Life beer can this old? They even punched the top to be able to drink out of it with those little pointy can openers. I don't know if you can see it or not. It does say Miller High Life beer. Now, there is another one in this pile here that I found. Let me see if I can get it. This is really cool too. See if you can read through the rust. It's Pabst Blue Ribbon. Pabst Blue Ribbon Genuine Dry Ale. How's that for old? Again, with the old can openers. Imagine sucking out of that way back when. Probably wasn't rusty then. And this was their favorite drinking spot. This reminds me of a story my father-in-law told me. He used to work for Grand Union, a grocery store up in the Lake George area, his whole life. And they would always get phone calls asking if they had Prince Albert in a can. And he would say, yes, we do. And then the caller would respond, you better let him out. So yeah. Hey Ed, do you have Prince Albert in a can? Because it kind of looks like he might have found his way out.